Dubai is absolutely on fire. No, I'm not just talking about the summer heat. I'm talking about a city that reinventing itself faster than ever before. We are seeing record-breaking tourism numbers. Yes, but more importantly, we are seeing mega infrastructure projects like the Blue Line Metro and the revitalization of Palm Jebel Ali that are literally reshaping the skyline and the economy right now. But if you're really an investor, what does all this frenzy really means for your money? Is it the opportunity or just a noise? Stay tuned because today on the show we are diving into Dubai now. Innovation, lifestyle, and real estate opportunities. I will share what's happening across the city, why it matters to your investment portfolio. At the end, I will give you 3 specific areas my team at Terra Real Estate are personally recommending you keep a close eye on. This is Dubai Insider. I'm your host, Fabio Saltini, and let's get started. You know, I spend my life talking to serious investors, people who have seen a few cycles. And the question I get every single time right now is, Fabio, what is actually happening in Dubai? Is this real or just another boom? And I get it. We have seen the cycles. But I'm going to tell you something that gives me, Fabio from Terra Real Estate, absolutely confidence. What's happening right now isn't a cycle. It's a strategic, long-term transformation backed by policy and absolutely enormous government investment. We are building the next generation of a global city. Forget the headlines about the latest skyscrapers for a second. The real story, the one that drives investment value, is the Dubai Urban Master Plan 2040. This document is the bedrock of everything we do. It's the leadership's clear statement that the goal isn't just growth, but to be the best city in the world to live in. That's the mission. Now, how this translates into real estate value? It's simple. They're committed to massively improve the lifestyle here. Think about this. They're doubling the size of green spaces and recreation areas, a more than 100% increase, and doubling the space allocated for hospitality and tourism. As a broker, I can tell you, when the cities prioritize parks, beaches, and world-class attractions, the value of the property around it goes nowhere but up. You're buying to protected quality of life, not just square footage. And critically, they want over half of the population living within an 800-meter walk of a public transport station. That's a huge commit to urban planning. It means every new community isn't going to be isolated. It's going to be integrated, reducing congestion and making life easier. That's connectivity. In my business, is a reliable currency. That's why we at Terra Real Estate are always mapping the future value of a property against this very plan. This vision isn't sitting on a shelf. It's being executed with a speed and scale I haven't seen in years. We have 2 massive projects that truly define this era. Palm Jebel Ali Resurrection. For years, this was the project everyone joked about, the sleeping giant. Well, the giant is wide awake now. The master plan of Palm Jebel Ali has been relaunched, and let me tell you, it's going to set completely new standards for luxury waterfront development. It's almost twice the size of the iconic Palm Jumeirah. That tells you the level of ambition. The first phase of luxury villas, the beach and coral collections, are already being constructed. Infrastructure work, including marine work and roads, is moving fast. What I love about this is the focus on sustainability and larger, more private plots. This isn't just a repetition, it's an evolution. If you're looking for long-term capital appreciation in ultra-luxury segment, this island, which will eventually feature over 110 kilometers of coastline, is ground zero. It will create a massive ripple effect across the entire Dubai South area. Next is mobility. The new Dubai Metro Blue Line is not just an extension, it's a network multiplier. This 30-kilometer line set to open in 2029, and it is a vital missing link. It's strategically designed to serve all those high-growth areas that the 2040 plan is targeting. Places like Dubai Creek Harbor, Dubai Silicon Oasis, and Academy City. These areas, which are home to business and a massive student population, are about to become centrally connected. When we talk to our clients at TerraReal Estate about the Blue Line, we are talking about the metro effect. Properties within a short walking distance of this new station, especially in emerging areas like International City, will see a massive immediate bump in desirability and rental yield when the line opens. This 5 billion investment is an absolutely gift to any smart investor looking for guaranteed appreciation outside the typical prime zones. Don't forget Expo. The site was never meant to be temporary. It has transitioned into Expo City Dubai Land. It's a brilliant example of a city's sustainable future. This is now a genuinely smart, sustainable urban hub. It's achieved the highest level of global certifications, LEED, Platinum, for cities and communities, and the WELL Community Pre-certification. In simple terms, is globally recognized as a healthy, green, and socially responsible place to live and work. It's built around the 50-minute city concept, meaning everything, your office, your home, your park, the coffee shop, is a short walk or a cycle away. This is attracting new demographic, high-value business and tenants who prioritize health, connectivity, and environment impact. For an investor, Expo City is a future-proof, low-risk asset that aligns perfectly with the global shift towards responsible urban living. So to answer the big question, what's happening? It's a story of vision, infrastructure, and resilience. The government has laid out a 20-year map, back it up with $1 billion in infrastructure, the Blue Line, Palm Jebel Ali, and anchor it with a major economy and sustainable hub, Expo City. And the engine is running out. Our tourism sector is booming, with visitors numbers up, hotels occupancy over 80%, and global spotlight firmly on us. This sustained external demand creates internal wealth and residential demand. This is the big picture that gives me the confidence to operate here. You're not buying a flash in the pan. You're not investing alongside one of the world's most disciplined and ambitious city builders. Now it's time to be strategic. Look at the old narratives. It was always to buy great locations, but relies too much on oil. That narrative is dead, done, over. The real story of Dubai over the last 5 years is diversification and resilience. We prove we can handle global shock better than almost anyone else because the non-oil economy here is the true engine. When you look at the micro numbers, and I do, every single day at TerraReal Estate, the UAE's non-oil GPD grew by about 5% in 2024. That's massive. That tells you strength is coming from trade, from logistics, from hospitality, and critically, from finance services and real estate. This strategic pivot ensures that the city's economy foundations are rock solid, and that stability is the number one thing global investors are looking for. Now let's talk about the who. Who is driving this market? It's the global wealth migration, full stop. Dubai has successfully positioned itself as a premier safe harbor for high net worth individuals from around the world. Think about the governmental policy here. The Golden Visa programs are brilliant. They offer long-term residency based on investment, which removes the typical uncertainty of living abroad. Combined with the competitive tax structure, zero personal income tax, low corporate tax. You create a situation where wealth doesn't just pass through in the city, it anchors here. The data is astonishing. According to reports I've seen, Dubai expected to lead the world, again, in the millionaires inflow, within 6,700 and 7,200 millionaires relocating here just in 2024. When you compare to traditional hubs like London, which is seeing a net loss of millionaires, you realize Dubai is not just competing, it's winning the global competition for talent and capital. They're not just coming to holidays, they're bringing their families, their business, and their long-term money. Where do these people put their money and run their operations? A huge part of this is the Dubai International Finance Center, DIFC. This is more than just an office complex. It's a fully regulated global trusty financial ecosystem based on English common laws. And I mean, the numbers from DIFC of 2024 were historic. They grew the active companies by massively 25%, bringing the total close to 7,000 active firms. And revenues were up to 37%. This explosion is driven by family offices, ultra-wealthy families sitting up with their structure here, and by major global hedge funds and asset managers who need a Mesa hub. What does this mean to real estate? Because every one of those 6,900 companies needs stuff. Every hedge fund manager needs a place to live. And those new established family offices need trophy assets. Not just for investment, but for residency. That's why we at Terra Real Estate have been focusing so heavily on ultra-prime market. The demand for those large villas and high-end branded residents is directly linked to the success of the DFC and continued influx of global wealth. So, you connect those dots, the economic stability and investor-friendly policies, the massive influx of HNWIs, and the surging financial sector, what do you get? A market where prime and super prime real estate continues to outperform almost every other global city. The fact is, Dubai led the world in sales of $10 million plus homes last year. We're not just talking about small transactions. We are talking about legacy purchases. People setting down roots for decades. This isn't a speculative noise. This is a capital anchoring itself in a jurisdiction in trust for its safety, its stability, and growth potential. This is why, when I sit down with a client at a 5 to 10 years investment horizon, I can speak with confidence. The government here done the hard work of building the economy foundation, and now the world is responding. This is truly Dubai becoming the global hub it always aimed to be. We need to shift our focus now, because Dubai is truly more than just a place to park your money or temporarily invest vehicles for capital growth. It's a complete vision for a better life. This is a quality of life segment that has become the real story over the last few years. And it's why we are seeing a fundamental structure shift from transient investors to a long-term family relocating here for good. Now, what underpins that decision? What makes a global family uproot their life and plant permanently root here? It begins with a non-negotiable emotional pillar: security. Dubai consistently ranks as one of the safest cities on the entire planet. That level of daily peace of mind for a mother or a father raising their children in an invaluable currency that simply cannot buy in the many other major global metros. It's the stability, social and political, that allows the families to exhale and plan 10, 20, 30 years into the future. And that stability is now cemented by regulation. I'm talking about the golden visa ecosystem. This is the mechanism that has fundamentally changed Dubai profile. This is not a short-term employment visa. This is a 5-10 renewable resident grants individual the right to live, work, and study here without needing a local sponsor. But more importantly, it offers the unique benefits to stay outside the UAE for extended periods without invalidating your residency. A critical piece of global mobility other jurisdictions simply do not offer. Crucially, the Golden Visa allows for generational planning. A resident can sponsor a family member, including their children regardless of the age. Think about this for a moment. This single policy allows the consolidation of a family's wealth and their future in one secure tax-efficient location for generations to come. It's the ultimate anchor for global families. With the foundation of the security and stability firmly set, the next question becomes, does Dubai have the infrastructure to support a world-class family life? The answer is a resounding yes, and the data proves it. We need to talk about the schools and hospitals. The government, through bodies like the KHDA, ensures the quality is not just good, but world-class. You are not sacrificing quality here. You are upgrading it. Dubai is home to a massive selection of premium British, American, and IB schools. And while they are not expensive, with annual fees at the highest end reaching well into a range of 120,000 to 150,000 dirhams for a high school, the quality is absolutely commensurate with that investment. You're buying a first-rate education. Likewise, the healthcare system featuring top international hospital chains like MedClinic and King's College and a robust private insurance framework ensures the medical care is not only accessible but exceptional. These are the life-critical foundations that drive family relocation. Now, layer onto that what makes Dubai the central nervous system of the world: global mobility. The entire city's existence is tied to the movement of people and capital. And this is the best illustrated by the sheer scale of this aviation sector. The combined operations of Emirates and Dubai airports, they're just large. They contributed to an astonishing 27% of Dubai's GPD in 2023, supporting over 630,000 jobs. That's not just an economic driver. That's a guarantee that the city will always be effortlessly connected to every major capital on the globe. We fly directly to almost everywhere. And as we speak, the massive expansion of Al Maktoum International Airport is underway, future-proofing that the city's role and world's logistics and travel hub for the next 50 years. For any global citizens, this level of frictionless travel and connectivity is a priceless asset. Finally, we arrive at the purchase itself, the home. We must understand that developers here are no longer building just towers. They are creating sprawling, fully integrated communities designed precisely for that end user that just received their golden visa. Looking at the diversity of these modern master communities, they represent a fundamental shift design philosophy. Take Tilal Al Gaf. The community is all about resort-style living. They build a massive crystal water lagoon, complete with its own white sandy beach, and surrounded with 11 kilometers of cycling tracks and wellness focus. You are buying a permanent vacation lifestyle. Contrast that with Dubai Hills Estate. This is the established, prestigious green heart of the city, but around the championship golf course, with its own mega mall and a sprawling central park. This caters to the buyers who value proven central location and tranquility of the green fairways. And then you have communities like the Mac Lagoons, which offers an equally term resort-like environment with Mediterranean cluster architecture and novel water amenities. The point is, these communities are a complete ecosystem integrating schools, parks, and retail to create a holistic long-term home environment. The market is no longer a wild gold rush. It's a mature, steady growth engine. Days of 12% annual appreciation for every single asset are behind us, replaced by a more sustainable ratio rate, particularly in the prime and ultra-luxury segments. This stability comes precisely because the market is driven by those long-term end users, not pure speculations. This shift is clearly visible in where the leading developers are now placing their bets. They're focusing heavily on off-plan projects that center on community living and true luxury living. They're building integrated lifestyle, not just standalone towers. Look at the heavy hitters who are sitting in the standard of this new maturity. You have MR, the master planner, expanding its core mega communities. You have Shoba, known for their vertical integration and unparalleled committed for finishing quality. You have newcomers who are rapidly escalating their reputation, like Bingari, who leverage striking architecture, and Ellington, who are defining boutique design-led luxury. This group is responsible for the majority of the new supply that is coming online, and its quality control supply tailored for the modern, discerning buyer. This is what makes 2025 a strategic moment to invest in Dubai property. We are the nexus of three power forces. First, this massive, high-quality new supply is entering the market, giving buyers real choice. Second, the globally financial outlook suggests that interest rates are likely to soften, which will inevitably loosen financing and create another wave of demand from buyers who need mortgages. And third, buyer behavior have evolved. The market is less reactive and more focused on values, reputation, and long-term utility. This combination creates a fantastic opportunity for the informed investor who understands quality over speculation. This brings me to a crucial authority content you must internalize before making any investment. You need to know how the professionals assess value, and that starts with the competitive market analysis, or CMA. A CMA is what we use to accurately assess the fair value of a property based on recent comparable sales in the direct vicinity. It is an objective view that cuts through the marketing noise and tells you exactly what an identical apartment or a villa just sold for. You must insist on seeing this analysis. Understanding the market also means understanding the risk. Be aware that bad projects in the same area can drag down prices for a good one. Poor managed, low-quality building next door can absolutely affect your mortgage approval, or worse, the final valuation of your asset when you decide to sell. It creates a neighborhood value drag. This is why you must prioritize developer reputation. The developer's history is your insurance policy. Furthermore, always verify that your funds are deposited into a regulated escrow account. This is the single most important legal protection for an off-plan investor in Dubai. It ensures that your money is only released for the developer as construction milestones are met. These rules are part of the robust, transparent framework but in place by government regulations to protect you, the buyer. You're not operating a vacuum here, and using these professional tools as demanding these protections in the only way to capitalize on the current Dubai property trends and invest in Dubai property with true confidence. Now, I want to bring everything we have discussed about security, regulation, and developer reputation to life with a real, concrete example. This is not theory. This is what happens when you fail to do your due diligence. A few months ago, a client came to meet after purchasing a fantastic-looking apartment in a new off-plan tower. It was a well-known community in the north of the city. Excellent location, high-end finishing, everything looked great. But the project next door, literally sharing a common boundary, was a disaster. It was from a developer with a bad track record quality and delays. As a result of this neighboring project's poor execution and resulting negative sentiment, the average market price for the entire immediate area suffered a value drag. And here is the truly damaging part. When my client approached the banks for their post-handover financing, the bank's internal value team took a look at the CMA for the whole block, saw the low sales prices from the neighborhood distressed development, and refused to grant mortgage on the quality property. The banks simply said, the local comparable prices do not support this valuation. My client was stuck. They had bought a good unit, but a bad project next door almost torpedoed the entire investment and their long-term plan to move in. That's why I insist doing a proper competitive market analysis before investing is crucial. It's not just about what you're buying, it's about what you're buying into. In Dubai, you are protected by law, but you need to be an informed participant and know where you are putting your money. You have to ask the right questions. So, let me give essentials, non-negotiable checklist for every single deal you consider. First, you must research the developer. Their track record is your single greatest prediction of future success. Second, you must confirm that your payments are going into a regulated escrow account. This is your legal safeguard, non-negotiable. Third, check similar projects in the same area, especially those that have recently handed over. Are those owners happy? Are they renting easily? Fourth, you must understand the genuine demand for rentals and resales in that specific building and neighborhood. What's the true utility of this asset? And finally, you absolutely must work with a certified broker who can provide you with the data and honestly to answer these questions. Not just a salesman pushing inventory. This is the only way to safeguard your investment and your future in Dubai. My goal here is to give you the tools and the confidence to move forward. So if you're looking at the deals right now, if you want a professional eye to review your decision, or you simply need to be helped you run proper, professional CMA on a project before you commit to buy, send me a message. There's a link in the description of this show. If you tap on it, you can talk directly to me via WhatsApp. I'll personally review it for you. Let's make sure your investment here is secure, successful, and set up for long-term future in this fantastic city. Let's talk soon. We are moving now into an engagement part of the show, where I take some of questions you have been dropping in my DMs and recommend section, because these questions often touch on exactly what everyone else is thinking. A very popular question came in from a listener who asked, Fabio, you've talked a lot about the maturity of the market. Given all that, is this still worth buying off plan in 2025? That's a perfect question. The short answer, yes. Absolutely. But you have to be more strategic than ever. The days of simply buying the unit and watching skyrockets are over. Now, you need to target projects where the developer is offering a true premium, where there are genuine gap in the market, or where the payment plan offers a significant advantage. Off-plan still offer the lowest entry prices and the greatest leverage, but the quality of the project is everything. Another great question I saw recently was, with so much new supply from all these big developers, with the huge amount of inventory cause a property crash? Nope. The reason is that controlled release and policy underpinning demand. The structure shift we talked about, the golden visa families, that is permanently demand. Furthermore, the new supply is almost exclusively focused on the top-tier luxury and community segments, which are absorbing high net worth capital from all over the world. The market is getting wider, not weaker, and demand is broad enough to sustain the growth, through perhaps at a slightly slower, more stable pace than before. And finally, one last question, which is incredibly practical. Which is the biggest mistake you see people make when they're buying their first property in Dubai? It's almost always falling in love with the brochure. The look at the amazing pictures of the infinity pool and the beach access, and you forget to ask a simple, fundamental question. Does this property have a viable floor plan for rental demand? They buy a quick one bedroom that looks great, but the tenant wants standard, efficient layouts. Always think about this next person who will rent or buy your unit. Make your purchase decision based on a broad appeal and long-term utility, not just a personal taste. Those are just a few insights we get from your engagement. I want to hear from you. Drop the question into comments below right now. Maybe it's about specific area, maybe it's about financing, or maybe it's a detailed question about developer. Whatever it is, put in a comment, maybe I will answer in the next episode. We cover a significant amount of ground today, transitioning from a structural stability that are drawing global families here to the detail. Practical steps you need to take to secure your investment in the evolving market. I want to leave you with 3 core takeaways that should form the foundation of your investment strategy moving forward. First, remember that Dubai is expanding in every direction, geographically, economically, and in terms of this global lifestyle profile. This isn't a staggering market waiting for a simple boom. It's a city engineering for continuous sustainable growth in tourism, technology, and wealth migration. Second, these growth create huge opportunities. Yes, absolutely, but only for the smart investors who prioritize quality over speculation hype. You must be informed participant who understand the difference between a secure long-term asset and a short-term gamble. And third, and most important, always do your homework. Your due diligence is your biggest asset. That means meticulously checking the project, the developer's track record, and seeking professionals' advice, like running the competitive market analysis. Never let emotions override the data. That's it for today's Dubai Insider. I truly hope this analysis helped you approaching the market with confidence and clarity. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit that subscribe button and tell me in the comments what topic you want to tackle next week. Maybe your question will be the one that gets featured. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.